PISCES, Stars and Scopes with your friend Uma. Updated every new and full moon with guidance based on planetary transits in the current sky and extra support from tarot. For accuracy, take a look at your rising sign first if you know it, and do feel free to listen to your sun, moon and rising if you'd like the full picture. If you're interested in your birth chart, check out the readings page at umaruby.com. And if you'd like to support the work, head over to buymeacoffee.com/umaruby and you can buy me a coffee. Finally, if you're a visual learner, look up Uma Ruby Tarot on YouTube and you can watch and learn. Okay, let's take a look. Hello Pisces and Pisces rising, welcome to your horoscope for the new moon in Virgo, happening on August the 27th of... Wait, what did I say? August the 27th. Yeah, that's the date that this is happening. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere with me, it's at 6:17 p.m. Here we go. This is a very romantic, beautiful, gentle, exciting new moon for you Pisces, because it's all about your seventh house of your beloveds, your romantic partners, your soul mates. Who are the people around you and who are the people that you wish to call in and draw in with your magic that you would consider some piece of the puzzle in who you are? Think about what Virgo represents too. I know that in the Roman and there's few human beings that are represented in the zodiac, isn't there? There's the Aquarius, which is the water bearer. There's, I guess Sagittarius is sort of half human being. The other one is Virgo. And Virgo traditionally is the virgin. But I think that it's kind of pertinent to think about what that means. And what does the term virgin really mean? And is it invented? And is it a state of mind that, or, you know, a sort of physicality that bears maybe a little bit less weight than it used to? I think that that idea has informed my styling for today. I mean, obviously Virgo, lovely, earth, garden, grotto, all of that stuff. But also, I think about PJ Harvey when I think about the word virgin. I think about all of the pushback and the disregard for that as being anything that means anything. I'm not sure if I'm speaking too cryptically, Pisces, but maybe you understand. I think the better way to think about Virgo when we consider it is to think about the Hermit card. If you know tarot very well, the Hermit is the wise person that sits in the forest and draws away from society for a time, maybe forever, who knows, but for the time that they need to absorb wisdom and reflect and recollect and think about everything that they know so far and everything that they wish to know for the future. The Hermit actually holds the star in their lantern as they travel along, so that, and we know that the star is kind of an alien in the tarot. They're maybe not from planet Earth. The Hermit is very much so. The Hermit is from this land. The star, maybe not. The wisdom that's in the star is from outer space. And they hold all of that in their lantern. They use that as their guide. So to ground them in a very interesting relationship between out there and down here. So in that way, think about your seventh house. Think about who you're in love with. If you're not in love with anyone right now, that's all right. Who would you like to bring into your life? And what does love mean to you? And what does, in a gently contractual way, in a soul contract way, I'd like to say, what does that mean to you? And what relationships and how, what relationships exist, and how would you like to foster them? How would you like to tend to them like the Hermit does? How would you like to allow those relationships to bring you back to earth. I think sometimes it's very easy for a Pisces to swim away, and that could be up back into the sky, that could be in the ocean, who knows, but away from earth. Virgo is there in your 7th house to bring you back to earth and to ground you. There's a diligence with Virgo. There's a sort of, I think sensibleness might be a word, but there's definitely something, their roots exist and they're difficult to move, which is really great for a Pisces. You need that grounding sometimes. You need that invitation to live here and to exist on this planet. So at this new moon, I want you to think about that, and I want you to think about the ways in which you can, in your magical way, bring them to you. Where do you need grounding, and who do you need grounding from? And if that's in a lovely love way, then by all means do it. If you wanted to make a magic wish and call in your next lover, then this is the moon to do it, Pisces. Really, really, really do it. I'm with you on that. Now, the tarot cards for where the moon is at, the moon and the sun in conjunction, exact, that's what forms a new moon. It's the 8 of Pentacles. So think about this, think about that diligence and that craft, that commitment to task. There's something here that can really help you in relationship. And it might be as simple as the advice that relationships take work. And mistakes can be made in that process. Things can be misunderstood or misconstrued, or they can be, fucked up. But it's okay, because with diligence and with learning and with commitment, great things can happen. That's a really lovely energy, the 8 of Pentacles, to have in the 7th house as a new moon wish, I think. There's something in there about, and also probably in some ways, if we look at it in the way that Pisces is so in tune with love and so porous and so absorbent when it comes to the emotional body, that the opposite side, the complementary side to Pisces, is Virgo. So we need that grounding in order to feel the depth of those emotions. Remember that Virgo is mutable earth as well, so it's malleable like clay. There's great forms to be made with the hands from Virgo. Another bit of the astrology is that the sun and the moon are in a very exact square with Mars, who has just entered Gemini. And Mars is going to be in Gemini for the next 7 months, and that's not usual. They're going retrograde and then moving forward again, and it's going to be a 7-month period that they're lingering around in Gemini. Normally Mars is very quick moving. It's around the zodiac, I think in 88 days, something like that, maybe a little bit longer. I'll have to look it up. I always need to look it up. I should look it up before I make these things. Anyway, but the message here is that the 8 of Swords represents the 4 of Gemini, where Mars is right now. So Gemini rules your 4th house, which is the home and your roots and your stability and privacy. So there's something here that I can see maybe for us that has a feeling of being bound or being constricted, sort of wishing that those roots weren't so deep, or wishing that there was movement. You know, the opposite of Gemini is Sagittarius, and that's all about travel and mind expansion and getting out there. Right now, there's something binding you where you are. And for whatever reason, it's going to take you 7 months of power, of fire, to figure that out. So think about if it's re-establishing yourself in your environment, in your home city or wherever it is that you lay, if it's being proud of that. Remember, Mars is about pride too. Mars is about forward movement and direction. So if you're feeling a bit listless at the moment about where it is that you might lay your head, or you'd wish that you'd rather not, there'd be somewhere else better, or whatever it is that's going on, use this energy of the moon. There's a square happening here, but use your seventh house. And maybe this card represents the stability of your current relationship, your current soul contracts that you're dealing with now. Use that as an anchor point for any of this anxiety or this powerlessness that you feel at home. That's the sky, Pisces. Let's pull some intuitive tarot. There is another aspect that's going on that I'll mention very quickly. We know that Saturn's still in Aquarius at 20 degrees. Venus has just entered Leo and is at 19 degrees. So there's a direct opposition there between Leo, which is your sixth house of your daily rhythms, your pride in work, all of that stuff. Venus is there, beautiful, artful, inspiration, in an opposition with the boundaries of Saturn in the 12th in your unconscious mind. So there might be some extra inspiration for you that's going to come. I think if we think opposition in this sense, it might be a good way to think about it in terms of face to face. You know, that song by Susie and the Banshees. Yeah, there's a standoff here between your perceived restrictions in your dreamland and the bounty and beauty of your sixth house, of your workaday life, which is so full of pride. That's just another little tidbit there. We could go on, but let's pull some intuitive tarot, I think. So Spirit, I want 3 cards, please, for Pisces on their love journey. If they're calling in love, you let me know. If they're reinvigorating love that they already have, you let me know. There's the moon. That's the perfect card to start this off. There's the doggy, there's the wolf, and there's something emerging from the bottom. Take a walk on the wild side, Pisces, whatever that means to you. All right. The 10 of Cups. Oh. And the 4 of Swords. Great. Haha. On the back of the deck is Mars in Gemini. Yeah. I'm sensing some frustration, Pisces. I'm sensing this feeling of sort of just wanting to just get moving, something like that. You're wanting to get this thing started. I think that the advice here is really to rest and to reflect. As frustrating as that sometimes sounds, gosh, I hate giving myself that own advice. And it is an uncomfortable feeling to have to sit in it. But don't allow it, don't consider it as sitting in your own shit, you know. Think about it as a moment to... There's stuff around here. This is the 10 of Cups. This is idealism. You know, this is a Pisces energy, this card. The 10 of Cups is sort of like, oh, and then there's the rainbow and we were happily ever after. Neptune's in there, remember? And there is that maybe... There's a sense of delusion about this card, I think. It's a beautiful moment, but it is delusional because there's no next chapter. The credits roll on this card, and that's just not what happens in life. The credits don't roll. I hope not. Anyway, maybe sometimes they do. But that's not for me to know. I'm still here. This is... And this also sort of disregards your wild side too, the redhead here. I think if we look at the brunette as the domesticated side of life, it's the doggy, beautiful, affectionate, lovely puppy. The redhead is the fox or the wolf. The redhead is the wild animal. There's something about reigniting that part of you, Pisces, that might be really important and might be good to consider the delusion of this scenario. And if you're fighting to set up some sort of home, there's going to be a lot of Mars energy in your 4th house for the next bit of time. So work with that. You know what? Get frustrated. That's completely fine. Don't let it become your undoing. Don't let it sabotage you and sabotage your rest, because I think that that's what Spirit's really saying here with this 4 of Swords, is that when we can't move, when we can't travel, and it might be because it's too expensive right now, or it might be because there's a whole bunch of different reasons why we try and run away, right, Pisces? You don't have to at the moment. At the moment, you're safe, and at the moment, you're being called to rest. I like that this is the 4 of Swords too, because that's the 4th house energy as well. So analyze, think about, imagine what it is that you want home to be. Maybe if you're moving or intending to jump ship and head off, this might be the beautiful, beautiful moon for you to put down some of the urgency of that idea and to really think about it, and to think about who it is that you want to let in and what sides of you need some tending to as well. What's coming up from this water here? What's emerging in this moment of tension? And who do you want to be if you're calling somebody fresh in, if you're calling somebody new in? Who are they going to get? The puppy dog or the wolf? That's your reading, Pisces. There's all the sand. It's all gone. I'm not lying. I love you very much. That was a really nice reading. I enjoyed it. Go with it. Go with it. Put your feet in the mud, I think, at this new moon. This is a really nice, earthy, clay-like space to be in. If you wanted your birth chart read, as always, head to umaruby.com. And if you wanted to talk about tarot or talk about astrology, or if that was something that you were kind of wanting to journey with a little further in your brain space, send me a message via my website. There's a connect page. Just write me. I'll write you back. We'll see what happens. I'm going to speak to you in 2 weeks for the full moon in Pisces. So this will be a crescendo of something, I reckon, babes. This is going to be explosive, beautiful clearing for us all. Can't wait. I'll speak to you then. Until then, I love you. Bye.